Hey, what's up? It's Jake from Nimbus DevOps, and I'm here to talk to you about a couple little tips and tricks with functions so you can be effective with them moving forward. So, first thing is functions should do one thing: keep them small, keep them um, easy to understand, easy to read. You can reuse them, but you don't want to get them too complicated. So, it's like having short sentences. It's appreciated by everyone around you. Also, the fewer inputs, the better. Functions that have a lot of inputs can become very hard to manage, and you can have other kinds of problems, and they get really complicated really quickly. So keep that to a minimum. And then functions should have consistent return values. Returning false and returning none are not the same thing, even if you're in a Boolean context and they both evaluate something values to false. False could mean you have information that's false, but false could also mean that there's not information, whereas none could also mean that there's not information. So try to write your functions consistently so that no matter what happens in their logic, they always perform the same thing and that it's expected. And the last thing is that functions shouldn't have side effects. So let me show you a little example in an interactive shell with a list of numbers. And I'll say 1, 4, 3, oops, we need a list here. 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so that's my numbers. And if I return numbers, I just get 1, 4, 3, 2. If I do sorted numbers, what did I do wrong? Sorted numbers. Sorted numbers, I get 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm calling the function sorted, and I'm passing the argument numbers, and it's returning the sequence in order. Okay, but if I go back and I type numbers, I still have an unordered sequence of numbers. Now that is different than if I say numbers dot sort, okay, and then I return numbers. Now numbers has been altered. This may be what I wanted, but now I no longer have my original sequence. This is gone. So this function had an unintended consequence because now if I need to do something else with this list, I can no longer do that because it's already in order. So I've changed the original data. So you shouldn't write functions that have side effects like this because you may need that data in its original form for many other functions. And by manipulating that data as you go, you're possibly introducing things that shouldn't be there. And so the best thing to do is to just return a new value or assign a new variable or something, but leave your original data, whether it's an object like a list or a file or whatever, and if you're gonna use a function, set your own local scoped variables, return new global variables, whatever, but leave those original objects intact. So that's it. As you get better at writing functions, hopefully that helps. And we're going to move on to a little recursion.